He looked like an adventure. Maybe we should cancel the pregnancy. The person you should love first and foremost is yourself.
好的，那今天我们又请来了我们的这个佳佳妈妈夏安，已经是我们的老朋友了。今天我们要聊的一个话题是关于家庭。Were you lonely before you met Angie?
I think I would be. Here I am, a foreigner in China. Long, far away from family. I don't have any Chinese friends at this point. So I felt lonely. I would go to work. Sometimes I would go to the mall, but not really excited. And then I met Angie and I was like, oh, he's quite handsome. And then he asked me to lunch that night and I was just, okay, this is exciting. I've never done this before.
How did he ask you?
He asked the quintessential nice Chinese question of, are you hungry? I did not know Chinese that well.
That means hello.
Yeah, it's just a greeting. And so I didn't quite understand. And so I thought he was asking me to eat. And I was like, okay, do I go back to my apartment or do I stay here? And I ended up sitting on that balcony for 4.5 hours. But he held true to his promise and he took me to my very first hot pot. That's where I fell in love with hot pot. And we sat there for another 4 or 5 hours just talking. Because I didn't speak Chinese, he didn't speak English. When we found each other, I think we were just numb and lost to the world. And then this new exciting thing of, oh, I think I might be falling in love with a local man, and oh, I think I might be falling in love with a foreigner.
So at that time, what does Angie means to you?
You know, I was tired of being closed in. I felt very sad and very alone. And at the time when he asked me out on our first date, he looked like an adventure. But it turned out to be the best choice I've ever made. And I'm glad I misunderstood what he was saying. And I'm glad I made the choice to take that adventure.
So Angie was an adventure. So when you think about Jia, use one word to describe what Jia means.
Jia is a new chapter in my life book. Growing up, I always told my mom, I'm never having kids. I'm never going to be married. I'm never going to have babies. I don't want to be a mom, blah, blah, blah. But then we found out I was pregnant. And at first we thought maybe we should cancel the pregnancy. I was 23. I was so young. And he was only 24, 25.
Not ready.
We thought about it for a couple of days. And he goes, I think you would be a really good mom. You know, you're a great teacher. You're a very beautiful woman. You're smart. You're kind. I don't think I would ever be able to find another mother for my children like you. I think you would be able to be the best mother for my children. We ended up keeping the baby, obviously. And now she's almost 5 years old. And she has taken us on the biggest adventure of our lives. We never expected that this tiny little human being that we created
Change your life.
She took us from where we were and put us in the stratosphere to where we could see where we were. Because of that little girl, we have been able to do some amazing things. And I'm so thankful that he told me what he told me that day. And he made me change my mind to keep the baby. And I love her with every fiber of my being because she's absolutely my favorite. I think if we did not have her, I would not be as happy as I am today.
So, and the third question, what does marriage mean to you?
I think marriage, to me, is a union between two people. It doesn't necessarily have to have a book like we have or a registration, but it's a union of two people's hearts who choose to fight for one another, who choose to be in one another's life willingly, and who choose to show up and show out every single day, love one another, and choose to actively be for one another. Even those arguments don't make it to where we don't choose one another, and nobody else outside of that matters.
So for those maybe young girls doesn't want to get married or doesn't want to have a child, what do you want to tell them?
There's going to be at least one person out there for you. If you never end up getting married or having children, that's okay too. That's your personal choice, but don't just push it off because you think you don't believe in love. Give it a chance. You might find there's a man out there that is just too good to be true. He washes your hair when you're sick. He goes and buys you, egg ramen from the Family Mart at the hospital after having a baby, even though the nurses are yelling at him that you should not be feeding that to a brand new mom. He doesn't care as long as you're happy. you might find that one person that changes your entire perspective of it. And if you do, fantastic. If you don't, the person you should love first and foremost is yourself. So this is our first girls talk, and if you want to know more or you have some questions that you want to ask to kind of understand something different, then please leave it in the comments and we will try and talk about it next time.